I hardly know what to tell you about the next half hour, except that it has been reported as true by those to whom it happened. It has been investigated, and no one, as yet, has been able to explain it or disprove it.
Document 87-4, Exploration 4. D7219 is a 26-year-old male with an athletic build. Subject has several years' experience as a volunteer professional with Yosemite Park's Wilderness Search and Rescue Team. D7219 is provided with a rescue harness, an extra lamp, emergency flares, and provisions to sustain a day-long excursion. The descent is broadcast to control using a hands-free surveillance apparatus. The audio-visual feed opens from the perspective D7219. As the door is closed behind him, the metallic din reverberating up the edge of concrete walls of the stairwell. The entrance landing is illuminated by a fixture beside the door. It is a sole source of light built in SCP-087. D-7219 approaches the stairs, placing a hand on the black metal railing. The fixture of the door is unable to illuminate beyond the first step, its radius of light terminating sharply in an impenetrable darkness. D-7219 extends his free hand beyond the light illuminated area and watches as it seemingly vanishes into the void, completely imperceptible past the wrist. Right. Y'all aren't paying me enough for this shit. D-7219, are you prepared to make your descent? D-7219 looks over the railing into the void of the stairwell. There is a harsh scraping noise, and the video feed is momentarily obscured by the brilliant light of a flare. He drops it, watching as it orbit of light, it quickly absorbed in the darkness as it falls, failing to illuminate even the flight immediately below. D-. Do you offer profit sharing? Or I need to see your plans for vision and dental, especially dental. These pearly whites ain't exactly. D-7219, are you prepared to make your descent? Yeah, just make a light of it. With this, D-7219 activates his headlamp. Chuckling to himself, the darkness recedes. Roughly half of the flight ahead can be seen. The first few steps are taken cautiously, with D-7219 glancing down with each foot placement. Hands still guiding him down the railing. As the second floor landing comes into the view, he quickens his pace, letting go of the railing and bounding down the last few steps. The stairwell echoes with every footfall. Alright, not too bad. I half thought it would be keep going in one direction, and all I could imagine was how much it would suck to trip and tumble down infinite stairs. Noted. Please continue. D-7219 begins descending to the third floor. Halfway down, he stops suddenly. He looks over the railing to stare into the darkness below. Christ, you hearing this? Hello, hey, are you hurt? I'm hearing a kid down there. You don't seem to be responding. Is that our rescue? What you're hearing is consistent with previous subjects' experiences. Please continue. Consistent with previous subjects? Right. Can I talk to a real person? D-7219 reaches the third floor landing, and at this point, the audio picks up the sound of a crying child emanating from the depths. Anyways, this kid doesn't sound like they're too far down. How deep do you guys say this was? Dr. Redacted does not respond. As the camera feed steadily sways with D-7219's movement, a pale white face, SCP-087-1, stands out of the stark darkness above. D-7219 passes without sighting it. Hello? Sorry. That's yet to be determined. We're hoping you can help us answer that. Pace yourself, though. Document. Anything unusual? Unusual? Oh, gee, let me see. It's dark as fuck, man. Please, focus. You're smiling right now, aren't you? I hear it in your voice. Come on, admit it. Receiving no response, D-7219 continues to descend, grumbling inaudibly. Over the next 15 minutes, D-7219 stops at the first landing to note damage to the surrounding stairs and walls, consistent with previous explorations. He stops again at the meter-wide hold at 89th Landing, first documented in Exploration 3. From here, he continues silently until the 96th landing. So, do we know who the kid is? You have a rescue harness because there's a possibility a lost child is down there, but we cannot be certain of it at this time. Oh, so like, it could be a recording, or it's something that sounds like a child. It's what? Mimesis? The latter is within the realm of possibility. We've analyzed the footage, and there's far too much deviation in verbiage and tone for it to simply be a loop recording. And I think the word you're looking for is mimetic. Huh? D-7219 passes the 97th landing, now taking each flight at a brisk pace. Same route, Mimos. Mimetic is typically used in a biological sense. Mimesis, though it can be used interchangeably, is more to do with artistic representation, the imitation of life and nature through mediums such as paint or poetry. D-72 pauses to peer over the railing and avoid space of the stairwell. Okay, pal. Doc, sir, ma'am. Let me hold on to something. It is mimesis, eh? Much rather find it a painting down here than something pretending to be a person. Sounds harmless. In a bodily sense, yes, but mimesis wasn't seen as entirely harmless. Plato, for example, opined that the arts were incapable of imparting truth, a falsification of reality, saw it as something capable of leading to immortality, an indulgence of passion. D-7219 quickens his pace, jumping the last two stairs, leading to the 102nd floor landing. You know, I would have asked you about the art theory 30 floors ago if I had known that's what it took to open you up. And ever thought about teaching? Never. My employee offers unrivaled vision and dental. Ha! It seems like you got a sense of humor after the grating screech of rending metal dominates the audio feed. The camera jerks wildly as D-7219 looks about in a panic, swearing. D-7219, report. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. I think he came somewhere down below me. I'm just... D-72 approaches the next flight. Just a little spooked is all. Understandable. Now, if you please... Right. Back to business. D-7219 returns to descending at a modest pace. Beyond his steady breathing and the ever-present pleading voice, there's a silence for the next 10 minutes. A newly discovered deviation is noted on the 163rd floor. In a hushed whisper, he addresses control. Hey, you seeing this? D-7219 has frozen in place. Before him is a series of glinting points in the darkness of the flight, reflecting the light of his torch despite the occlusion in the dark of SCP-087. D-7219's gaze remains fixed as he slowly advances, glancing away momentarily to check his footing. He leads with his left foot in a sidestep, body half turned, prepared to run. Down another step. Several jet-black protrusions come slowly into view, ragged, sharp, metallic points that glisten in the approaching light. Another step. The length of the protrusions can be made out as the 163rd floor landing comes into view. The metal railing on either side of the stairwell has been violently twisted and bent. Some sections have been split along their length, others torn clean from the concrete, leaving cracks along the walls and the edges of the stairs. The longest sections twist and extrude well into the D-7219's path, jagging ends toward him. Are you able to proceed? D-7219 carefully approaches, glancing in all directions. Gingerly, he sidesteps, stooping below and between mangled portions of the railing. The camera angle shifts with his contortions. It is as he takes a wide step over the obstruction, with his body half turned, that footage shows a bright white point in the stairway above, coming to a stop. He focuses on it. SCP-087-1 stares back at D-7219. Its eyes are closed. Its mouthless visage lie expressionless, unmoving. Doctor? Tell me what the fuck I'm looking at! Slowly, SCP-087-1 advances. Though it is not known to possess a body, the face moves at a staggered pace. It quivers and pauses before quivering again, as if it ambulating down towards D-7219, one deliberate step at a time. D-7219 begins hyperventilating, doubling its pace. Fuck! 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 D-7219, remain calm and withdraw. What the shit do you think I'm... There is a sound of tearing fabric. D-7219 hisses in pain, but does not slow in his retreat. Fucking do it! SCP-087-1 shuffles closer, its face moving easily past the Nard railing. The darkness appears to move with it, with the illumination provided by D-7219's torch becoming less effective the closer the face approaches. Backing away, D-7219 looks over his shoulder. He's almost clear of the obstruction. He turns back. 5 stairs between him and SCP-087-1 remain illuminated. Then 4. D-7219 guides himself around another sharpened prong. 3 stairs. D-7219's breathing becomes more labored. He whispers an expletive. 2 stairs. 1. It pauses. Suddenly, SCP-087-1 jerks forward. D-7219 recoils rapidly. There is a squelching noise and he bellows in English. With SCP-087-1's proximity, the environment is shrouded entirely in darkness. Only the top half of SCP-087-1 remains visible, its eyes open. Pale orbs dominated by sclera, with no visual pupils, stare into the camera as D-72 screams. SCP-087-1 vanishes. The illuminated area returns to the standard radius. In the entangled mess of railing, a tattered bit of fabric clings to one of the lowest protrusions. It is stained with blood. You, D-7219, are you? D-7219 groans, tilting its head slightly. From the bottom right of the corner of the feed, a sharp and thin bit of railing can be seen, glistening red. Yeah, fucking shoulder. Clean. Ugh. An audible suckling noise can be heard as D-7219 rests himself from the railing. He collapses on the 164th landing and begins rustling through his equipment, extracting gauze and medical tape. He is still breathing heavily, but is beginning to calm down. You guys are gonna have to give me a minute. Audio is overcome by the scuffling of the mic as D-7219 removes his surveillance equipment. For the next several minutes, the feed captures D-7219 and removes his shirt. He is bleeding heavily from his right shoulder. Once again, the video feed is saturated in maroon light as D-7219 readies a new flare. He cranes his neck to the side, his head held high and to the left. His face is contorted in a grimace. He brings the flare up and presses the lid under the wound, growling with gritted teeth. He similarly cauterizes the entry wound and tosses the flare aside. He is cast in its glow as he dresses his shoulder wound, as well as a gash below his knee. After a moment, he readorns his shirt and retrieves his surveillance equipment. When the fuck were you planning on telling me that I had company? What is it? We don't know. Bullshit. D-7219 approaches the stairs leading to the 160th floor landing. That's bullshit. I'm not gonna go in anywhere until I get an answer. Listen to me. I promise. I'm just as in the dark as you are, if you'll forgive my phrasing. D-72 bellows out a laugh that is immediately cut short with a pained groan. For fuck's sake, don't make me laugh. All I can tell you is that we don't know what it is, what intentions may be, if it's even sentient. It seems as if it's inimical to explorers. Its presence tends to unnerve and instill feelings of paranoia, but we've no clear record of causing direct harm. I'm sorry, I have nothing else. D-7219 reaches towards the railing on his left, guiding himself as he descends. Scooby-Doo. Excuse me. You know, like the show. He's trying to scare me away. D-7219 rounds the 160th floor landing. And if he's just trying to scare me away, there has to be something he's trying to scare me away from. Just like the goddamn scary mask is all. I wouldn't be so nonchalant, but I think I see where you're coming from. Right? D-72 rounds the 166th floor landing. So, I figure there has to be a bottom. There has to be a missing kid. D-7219 quickens his pace down the next few flights, sprinting with abandon. There has to be an ending, an answer. Otherwise, what's the point? I'm relieved by your determination. And I hope we can find some answers too, but you may be assuming intent where there very well could be none. D72-19 pauses. Oh, come off it. Someone doesn't go out of their way to make all this just to leave it unfinished. D72-19 continues for the next 2 hours, alternating between bouts of rapid descent and a measured pace, only checking in control to determine his depth and the time elapsed. He takes a 20-minute break on the 387th floor landing before continuing for another hour and a half. He's approaching the lowest point recorded thus far, where contact was lost with D9884 on the 633rd floor. He stops for another break, drinking from his canteen. The cries of the unknown child grow louder. I have to be getting close. Control, how am I doing? Readings indicate you're at a depth of 2.5 kilometers between the entrance, 574 floors down. How many Empire States is that? 7, I think? As D-7219 takes a step down the next flight, SCP-087-1 comes into view. Given its placement and distance, it is waiting on the landing below. Jesus. This son of a bitch again. Okay. I'm gonna need your help. I got a plan. A plan? Now is not the time to try anything risky. D-7219 unsteadily waves his left hand in a wide sweeping motion. It's nothing too crazy. I'm just gonna need you to be my eyes. Your eyes? His hand reaches out blindly until it comes into contact with the wall, sliding down its length until he discovers a railing. Shakily, he shuffles forward, feeling out the location of the first step. SCP-087-1 does not move from his position. See, if all it could do is spook me when I see it, I figure I could just not look. He advances with each step he takes. SCP-087-1 can be seen with more and more clarity, even as the lit area before D-7219 diminishes. D-7219, it would be best to go back up a few flights. Maybe we'll move somewhere else. As D-7219 draws closer, it does not seem SCP-087-1 is staring at him, but rather into the camera itself. Static flickers at the edge of the screen. A high-pitched, almost inaudible sound buzzes continually. Take a break. No. We're finishing this. Please. D-7219 can be heard speaking, but his speech is buried beneath a shrill din. The face in the darkness contorts. Its brow furrows, and its contours of his face shift into an approximation of anger. It comes to fill the frame as D-72 nears. The shrill din intensifies into a blaring, granting note. There is a sound of a mic handling and a dull thud as Doctor removes their earpiece, throwing it from their person. On screen, the picture splices an unintelligible whirl of black and white as the camera seems to come into physical contact with SCP-087-1. In an instant, it is gone. The audiovisual anomalies cease. D-72 has made it safely to the next landing, seemingly oblivious. In the control room, Doctor retrieves his earpiece. That can't be right. And I guess that's why I always had a problem with commitment. You can open your eyes now. The video pans as D-7219 looks around. Doctor looks around about his surroundings as well. You weren't even listening, were you? Here I am pouring my heart out because I think I'm about to die and you can't even hear me out. That's beside the point. Congratulations on your plan working. I'm sorry about your experience and thank you for confiding in me. Now, you need to focus on your objective. The camera jostles as D-7219 nods. He proceeds down the next flight. In the control room, Doctor leans forward in his seat, watching. He reaches up to adjust his glasses, and the lights around him begin to flicker. You shouldn't be witness to anything in the control room. That wouldn't have been included in the transcript. What's going on? What happened to the lights? What? Who? Sorry. It seems we have a technical issue on our end. Just keep going. Can someone tell me what the hell is going... Doctor tears his gaze away from the video feed. Several workstations are scattered throughout the makeshift chamber. Some are intended to record backups of D-7219's exploration. Others track the subject vitals and GPS position. All are unintended. Doc, what's up? What's going on? My team. The facility lights malfunction, casting the room in near darkness. Several monitors continue operation, but their displays are overtaken by a cascade of error messages. Each screen casts a sickly cone of light across the otherwise pitch black room. Oh, God! Doc! Doctor! Hey! Talk to me! The area illuminated by the computer monitors begins to recede, though each remains operational. It is as if their light cannot escape the immediate surface of their screens, leaving each a single point of white in the back of the facility. One by one, each screen blinks out in turn, until nothing further can be seen. The pleading voice of a crying child can be heard. It's here. What does that mean? What do you mean it's there? The darkness. Everything. It's here. SCP-087 is among the oldest files declassified to new recruits, something everyone has heard of. You know for a fact it never broke containment. You flip to the first page to confirm that you are in fact reading the right file, document 87-4, as it should be. Turning back to where you left off, you become aware of how many pages are still left. Were there that many to begin with? What the? Okay, Doc. Listen up. You're gonna be okay, alright? Do you have a light source on you? Doctor whimpers. There's a cascade of echoing footfall as D-7219 quickens his descent within SCP-087. Snap the hell out of it, man. Come on. A flashlight? Cell phone? A phone. Yes. I can't find it, though. Doctor begins to stammer quietly. D-7219 has reached the 600th floor. Hey now. It's okay. It's okay. Remember, if the thing's out there, it can't hurt you. Does anyone know where you are? Could help be on the way. Security does, yes. They should have been here by now. D-7219's speech is staggered due to his pace as he swiftly bounds down flight after flight. He's reached the 604th floor. Just stay. 605. Where are you? It's just trying to mess. 606. With us. 607. Doesn't want. 608. Us to finish. Within the control room, an orbit of maroon light falls from above, a lit flare in its center. As the room is momentarily cast in its light, it can be seen that the interior has shifted dramatically. The floor and towards the back of the room, where Doctor cowers remains somewhat consistent as a point of reference. But from either side beyond that point, it shifts. The floor bends and slopes upwards, downwards, around and around. At the center of the room is a deep, dark, unrelenting expanse. Doctor looks about his surroundings. In a panic, in a fleeting moment, sight is possible before the flare continues its journey down to the pit below. Nothing more can be seen. Doctor screams. Doc! Please. Please. God, help me. The pleading voice within the stairwell grows louder. Its begging is now in complete synchronicity with Doctor. Stay with me. I'm gonna get you out of there. D-72 stumbles forward hard in the next wall on the 615th floor landing, rebounding off of it and charging down the next flight, taking down the stairs in a single leap. Please! I'm down here! D-7219 flies down the stairs towards the 618th floor landing. Without hesitation, he scrambles towards the next flight. He continues to barrel downward, flight after flight. All the while, the pleading voice grows in volume. It is as D-7219 rounds the corner and onto the 633rd floor landing where the previous exploration had ended that he comes to a stop. Before him on the ground lies a mess of shredded fabric, the remains of a standard issue D-class uniform. It is draped in tatters over a chalk white, desiccated human form. It's shriveled, wrinkled, wet. Its dermis flakes and peels away. Its limbs bend in pain, unnatural directions. It stretches, twists. The body stretches and winds down the stairs, upper torso out of sight around the bend. God, what the? Ugh. He takes a step forward, pauses, then quickly turns and grabs the railings in both hands, retching uncontrollably over the side. He hyperventilates, vomits again. After a moment, his breathing slows. A forearm comes up as he wipes the bile from his mouth. Nervously, cautiously, he follows the gnarled and crooked shape as it bends down. Down. Flight after flight after flight. Ever deeper, never ending. You know it never ended, never finished. The voice of the pleading child grows in volume. It's cold in here. D-7219 follows the gnarled, twisted spine even deeper. Another 100 floors. 1,000? 1,000 more? It is as he slows, as the bones ache and his muscles give out, that jagged shoulder blade comes into view on the flight below. The upper body of the nameless victim comes into focus. You cannot make out the details of its face, but you know it is wretched in a silent scream. A mangled, outstretched arm reaches out as if the victim spent their final excruciating moments clawing their way forward. Just outside the reach of his hand, a sheaf of paper rests upon the landing. D-72 ignores it as you begin to read. A snowflake lands on the back of your finger, melting in the innocuous bead that draws a path down the curvature of your hand and drips onto the page.